You are listening to Nerds with Mics, Episode 10. Today's podcast is brought to you by Gamefly.com. Sign up for a free premium 30-day trial specifically for our viewers at the following URL: GameflyOffer.com/nerdswithmics. Today, we talk about Battlefield 1 leaks. We also talk about who is deadlier, Batman or Rambo. And Anna Kendrick wants to be Squirrel Girl? All this and much more. This is Nerds with Mics. Hey everybody, I'm Travis.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Maxwell.
Welcome to Nerds with Mics. This podcast is about movies, TV shows, games, technology, and more. If this is the first time that you're listening, then thanks for coming. That's what she said. Got it.
Not your first time.
Yeah,
Thank you as well.
Yeah. So this is a podcast that's produced every week for your enjoyment, and notes and stuff will be found at nerdswithmics.com, which is our website. So without further ado, let's get into this. Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, you're on your own on that one.
Yeah, I was definitely on my own on that one. So let's get right into it. So let's start with movies and TV news and such. So the first bit of news we have is Suicide Squad runtime has finally been revealed. And wouldn't you know that it's over 2 hours?
It sounds about right.
It's actually 2 hours and 10 minutes to be exact. So we actually officially have a runtime for this movie. Is anybody excited about this movie?
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait.
Is this going to be one of those movies that you're so excited about and you don't go see, Justin?
Maybe, yeah.
What about you, Maxwell? I know you're a bigger comic book fan probably than Justin here, so you'll probably go see it, right?
I'll go see it, but I probably am not as excited to see it as he is, which is interesting.
Now, would you say that's because Batman versus Superman kind of let you down a little bit, so you're kind of reserved in getting excited about this movie, or is it because you know less about the Suicide Squad than other things comic book related?
Do I only get two options?
If you want to throw a third in there, that is totally up to you.
Okay, C, none of the above.
Okay, then lay it on me.
Because I felt like Batman vs. Superman was good. I feel like my relationship with comic books is not that great, but in the movie world, it doesn't matter to me. But when it comes to the character choice, I am not too excited about the Joker.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's one of those things where they haven't really revealed a lot about him in the trailers, but then once we actually see him on screen more than what we've seen in the trailers, that maybe we're more bought into that to that Joker. So, all right, well, moving on. So next bit of news we have is one of the movies that I actually thoroughly enjoyed that I went into not expecting to enjoy is Pacific Rim. Have any of you guys seen Pacific Rim?
I have not.
What about you, Maxwell?
Jaegers, man, yeah.
Yeah, so this finally has a release date, so mark it on your calendar, Maxwell, because we're going to somehow watch it together. I don't know how, but we're going to figure it out. February 23rd, 2018 is going to be the release date for Pacific Rim 2.
Well, we could probably manage that. We got enough time to coordinate a viewing of that together.
Yeah, but, I just can't get over how surprised I was by this movie and how much I liked it. Justin, obviously, I know that you haven't seen it, but Maxwell, you thoroughly enjoyed it, you said yourself, right?
It was exciting to watch. I am just honestly wondering where they can take the story this time.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of the main characters in the movie, other than maybe the two, the female and the male lead roles, pretty much died, right? So,
yeah, and they cut off the I guess the portal or whatever.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious where this can go as well. So, Justin, you want to fill us in on some Star Wars Episode 8 news?
So Mark Hamill has stated that Episode 8 will wrap filming on July 22nd, 2016. That's just a couple weeks away.
Does that mean I can see it next month?
No, you'll still have to wait another 16 months, but it means that they're closer to reshoots and then editing.
I mean, at least I have another Star Wars movie between this one and that one that I get to watch, while I wait. So yes. I'm pretty excited about that. Maxwell, are you?
You'll be waiting every year.
Yeah, exactly. So, for Star Wars, I'll wait. Or as Simon Pegg said, for Star Wars, I'll burn. I don't know if y'all seen that behind the scenes.
No, I haven't seen that.
When he's in that big, the guy that was like, credits or whatever. He was the big fat guy. He was the big fat guy behind the counter. But yeah, so I don't. You like the
credits?
Yeah, credits. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. So yeah, I'm really excited about Star Wars. Almost as excited as I am about this next topic that Maxwell's going to bring to us about his favorite thing. One of his favorite things.
One of my favorite things. All right, so The Predator, the official title, The Predator. So it's going to be a sequel to the other movies. It's not going to be a remake.
Now, when you say the other movies, do you mean after Predator 2, or are we talking like Aliens versus Predators as well?
That kind of detail, I don't know. It's going to be present day as far as that goes.
Okay.
So they do have a main character name now. It's Quinn McKenna. That's from producer Shane Black. However, it could be, or director, I guess. It could be a placeholder, he said. So the name he specifically said could change. But that just kind of lets us know that the main character is not going to be Arnold, which there was a lot of speculation of. But it doesn't mean he's not going to make a cameo, because they have been meeting up and talking about it. In related news, hey, Travis, do you like Judge Dredd?
Yes.
Do you like Aliens?
Yes.
Do you guys like The Predator?
Yes.
What if somebody were to take all of them and create a nice little comic book based off of the series?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to take place in Alabama. And what happens is there's going to be a crazy scientist that gets a hold of a xenomorph skull, or an alien skull.
Okay.
And then the predators are going to come to the planet because it's super hot, and they like the idea of the, ravishing Earth all the time. But it's basically going to be a bunch of aliens get bred again, and the predators down there with Judge Dredd trying to uphold the law.
Well, that's pretty interesting. It kind of reminds me of, you remember the Freddy versus Jason movie?
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that is because they were supposedly working on a second one, but it was going to have Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and then the guy that was going to try to kill them all was going to be Bruce Campbell. So it kind of reminds me of the same kind of concept.
Oh my God, that would have been great.
Yeah, but I don't think that movie will probably see the light of day. However, this comic book seems really cool, especially going to have Judge Dredd in it as well, which is super cool. Because did you watch the newest Judge Dredd movie, Maxwell?
The newest one, yeah.
Did you like it?
It was
okay.
It was okay to me. Yeah, some people loved it if they were into the comics, I guess. But nothing can really top Stallone.
I feel like everything always comes back to Stallone, and it's over the top related. So
yes, you got it, buddy.
Yeah. So more into some additional comic book news. One of the little bits of information that came out in an interview with Anna Kendrick, the star of Pitch Perfect. She wants to play Marvel's Squirrel Girl, which I had no idea that was even a comic book character. In an interview, she was quoted saying that my brother sent me a Squirrel Girl comic because he thinks I should play her. She says, I don't know what Squirrel Girl does other than be half squirrel, but I could be half squirrel, she said.
She can do it.
Yeah, she could do it. So,
what do you guys know about Squirrel Girl?
Nothing
at all.
Do you know anything?
Just a little researching.
Okay, well, fill us in.
She came out in 1992 in the comics.
Okay.
She's a 14-year-old mutant, so that's a little different.
Yeah.
For Anna Kendrick to play it. But then her notable victories against other Marvel characters.
I hope it's somebody notable. Like, I really want it to be somebody notable.
Well, top of the list, Doctor Doom.
What?
Yeah. Thanos. Deadpool.
You're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, she beat Deadpool. Okay. Who has pretty much defeat all of the Marvel universe. And Wolverine in a sparring match.
I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you.
Now I need this movie to be made.
Yeah,
She's got a tail, and she can talk to squirrels, and then she's got like speed, strength, dexterity, and retractable claws.
Oh wow! Huh. So, I mean, it sounds like a really interesting character. If it's anything like Ant-Man, which I knew absolutely nothing about, but I ended up really liking the movie, and if it's anything like Guardians of the Galaxy, which I knew nothing about and end up really liking that movie, I'm totally sold. Plus, I mean, if my wife's listening, Anna Kendrick is kind of my celebrity crush, so I'm kind of okay with this.
Oh, are you excited about that new movie coming out? The Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates?
No, because she looks kind of trashy in that movie.
I think she's supposed to be trashy.
I don't like a trashy kind of girl.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I prefer them to look like squirrels.
Okay. The reason I asked is because IGN reviewed that movie. They said it's not very good.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It looked funny.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, which stars Chris Pratt, there's actually some new news about a movie coming out with Chris Pratt, right, Maxwell?
Yeah, we actually have a movie called Passengers with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. So here's the setup. Basically, you have a future setup. They're in a spacecraft with thousands of people, and they're being transported to another planet. And there's it's supposed to be like 120 years that they're like cryogenically frozen. Well, something goes wrong, and they wake up like halfway through it, like 60 years into it. And it's going to be basically Chris Pratt waking up first, running around the ship for a year, and then Jennifer Lawrence wakes up. They meet up, and it's set as like a sci-fi, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a love movie. So
Like a rom-com?
Yeah, I guess like a sci-fi romance.
Well, let me tell you, if it's anything like Jupiter Descending, or is it Jupiter Ascending, I do not want to be a part of that.
Yeah, that was a terrible movie. Now, early release has been out, I guess, for like critics and things, and it's getting great reviews. They said like visually it's outstanding, and then the just storyline is really good. But considering the movie is two people, based on the synopsis, the cast is pretty massive. Of course, Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. We got Michael Sheen. Lawrence Fishburne is in it.
Does he play Morpheus?
I hope so. But there's like a whole massive list of people, so it'll be exciting to see how it goes.
And is there a release? Is this movie out, or is there a release date for this movie?
Yeah, it's like end of the year.
Oh, okay.
December 21st.
Oh, very cool. Just from what little bit you've told me, plus I like the two main stars, mostly Christopher Pratt. It'll probably be a movie that I'll see. I mean, it's sci-fi. I love sci-fi movies.
Yeah, and I haven't heard anything about this. There's no trailer out. I've not seen any like sneak peeks or anything, so I just came across it, but it looks really good.
Oh, well, thanks
Sounds
for
good,
bringing
I
that
guess.
up. I'm going to have to check it out. So, now moving on to TV news. So TV show The Flash, which I think I'm alone in saying I'm the only one that watches that show, correct?
Yeah, but you're also the only one that watched Supergirl also, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. But yeah, the TV show The Flash is adding a new character to season 3. I think it's season 3. Maybe season 3. So according to reports, Harry Potter star Tom Felton has joined The Flash season 3 as Julian Dorn, which is another CSI at the Central City Police Station, which is the same position that Barry holds, who suspect that there is more to Barry, which is the Flash, than what may appear. So he's playing a character that nobody knows anything about. So kind of curious if what he's going to be doing in that movie. He was also a bad guy. Would he technically be considered a bad guy in Harry Potter?
He was an antagonist, but he's very conflicted.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be similar to the character he's going to play in this show.
Okay.
But now I got a question for you guys.
Yes.
So if I was to ask you who was deadlier, Batman or Rambo?
I thought you were going to say Willy Wonka.
Oh, no.
Okay.
He's deadly.
He's the deadliest.
So what would you guys say? But first, before you answer, let me drop some facts on you. Okay? So, Batman versus Superman, or B versus S, or Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Ben Affleck's Batman killed a total of 21 people. And Batman is a character that's notorious for not typically killing people, which he's been known to, depending on where he was in his career. But what's really interesting, out of just that movie, 21 kills alone, compared to 45 kills across multiple Batman movies. 21 in just one movie. Maxwell, lay some facts on me around Rambo's killing spree.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Is that the theatrical cut? Or does that include the R-rated version? Because there might be more.
I think that is including the R-rated
Okay.
version. Yes.
Wait, how are people seeing that yet?
I don't know. There's been reports
It's
all over
been
the
out.
internet.
Yeah, people have gotten their hands on it.
Yeah, and there was a thing too where it's like watch the extra cut opening scene, and I watched it and I literally couldn't find out what the difference was between the two. Like I literally didn't know. I couldn't tell a difference. So, and some people has been reviewing it already, and one of them gave it a D+. So
Yeah, I hear it's not very good. I'm a little disappointed.
yeah. So what's some of the numbers that you have across all Rambo movies, Maxwell?
Well, it just really depends. With Rambo, he's a totally different man when he has his shirt on versus his shirt off.
Oh, how so?
Well, when he has his shirt on, he kills 12 people versus 46 with his shirt off in part 2.
Total huge
Wow.
difference.
In part 3, he kills 33 people with his shirt on, 45 with it off.
Wow.
However, in 2008, in part 4, when he kept his shirt on the whole time, he had a grand total of 83 people
Wow.
versus the first Rambo, which he killed one guy.
So I think it's fair to say that Rambo is probably much deadlier than Batman. Is that correct? I mean, if you total up the kills,
Depending on shirts to no shirts, yeah.
because if you total up all the Batman kills, you got 40. You got 76. No, sorry, 40. God, I can't add whatsoever. Yeah, 66.
45.
No, well, if you total all the movies combined, it's 66 kills for Batman across movies. 45 in multiple movies, and then 21 in Batman versus Superman. So, yeah, man, it's
Just depends on the movie then, because in part 2, he only killed 58.
that's crazy talk. I'm just hoping that Batman keeps his shirt on because I don't want to see what he does if he takes his shirt off. We have a mutual friend named Ben. He likes every Facebook picture he has his shirt's off, so I don't know.
I'm a little scared now.
Yeah, I know. So I don't
How
know
many people has he killed?
that's the thing. I don't know when his shirt's off. Like I'm afraid of what he's gonna do.
He's killing the Gains.
Hashtag gains.
The Swole Patrol.
The Swole Patrol. So let's move on to a little bit of a lighter topic. Let's talk about BBC. Let's talk about British people, Maxwell. Lay it on us.
All right. So I don't know if you guys have watched Top Gear over the years, but
I love Top Gear.
Oh my God, it's near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorites of all time. And the thing is, anybody that has not watched it, if you're not into cars, it's totally okay. I know so many people that could care less about a car, but the show is just great. Well, since the new season has cast Chris Evans,
Not to be confused with Captain America, because I was confused when I first read this.
Right. This is the British Chris Evans. And then we got Matt LeBlanc, of course, from Friends as Joey.
Seems so out of place.
Yeah, I know. But the show, Matt actually was pretty good on the show. Chris Evans, I personally was not enjoying him, and he was like the lead. He basically took place of Jeremy Clarkson.
Those are big shoes. Those are big shoes to fill, by the way. Jeremy Clarkson's awesome. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Now, this isn't, as far as fans go, Chris Evans hasn't been one of their favorite parts of the new season. And if he's done one season and he's already backing out, even though he did sign on for 3 years. So as of right now, they're not set to recast or fill his shoes, but maybe Matt kind of taking the leads on this. We're not sure. But he is backing out, and there are a lot of rumors as to why he's backing out versus Matt LeBlanc not really digging him. They're kind of like fighting back and forth.
Drama.
Yeah. Now, in related news, Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May have all signed on with Amazon. And what they're going to do is kind of bypass some of their legal concerns with being able to cast another show like Top Gear with a network television channel or whatever. But because it's Amazon's internet-based, they actually have a new series coming out called The Grand Tour.
So basically, they're bypassing all legal things by going to a internet streaming service and having a different name. But I will tell you that I am already a huge fan of the cast list that signed up for that new show. That's something that I'll follow.
There was a rumor last year, and it may have just been like an internet hoax, but supposedly they were going to sign a deal with Netflix, and it was going to be called House of Cars, but that could have just been like a joke. I don't know, but it was on Reddit.
Well,
so
clearly it is because they're going to be doing the grand tour on Amazon. So,
well, a year, a lot can happen.
Yeah,
And
so.
why did I say like Yoda?
Now, let me ask you, Maxwell, is this a big enough reason for you to sign up for an Amazon Prime account?
You know, it might happen. It might actually happen.
Because you do a lot of shopping on Amazon anyways, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I just could care less to get something in 2 days. So that's why I never kept with it. But, I mean, for this show alone, it would probably be worth it to me.
Yeah, I know that one of the big things I just recently heard from one of my friends, he wanted to go back and start watching Doctor Who. And I didn't know that Amazon signed a deal specifically with Doctor Who, that they have exclusive streaming rights to it. Netflix and Hulu do not. So he signed up for Amazon Prime just so he can go back and start watching Doctor Who. So
that's probably got the best value because there's a lot of episodes of that.
Yeah, so, and I've watched some stuff, and they have some original content as well, but I haven't watched any of their original content, so.
All right, for a short break, for you, the listeners of Nerds with Mics, Gamefly is offering you a premium 30-day free trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. To get your free trial today, go to gameflyoffer.com/nerdswithmics. Again, that's gameflyoffer.com/nerdswithmics for your free 30-day trial.
So, yeah, massive Battlefield 1 news, guys. I know every single one of you here at this table and the table down in Florida are excited about Battlefield, am I right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That were astounding. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so somebody actually went in and hacked the code for Battlefield 1, which turned out to actually reveal all kinds of information about the game. It revealed weapons, gadgets, maps, story chapters, and a bunch more. I was going to just kind of highlight some of the things because I obviously don't want to spoil it for anybody that actually wants to be completely surprised by the game. I was just kind of hit some of the high points. So there's going to be over 30 weapons ranging from handguns, tankers, boats, behemoth weapons, cavalry weapons. There's also going to be 6 episodes. Each episode will consist of 3 to 4 chapters. And if you actually want to go online, you can look, and it has the actual names of the chapters and all that, but I don't want to give any of that away. It also gives the map names, so the names of the locations for single-player and also multiplayer maps. It gives you a full list of weapons with each weapon that's in the game. It also even gives you game modes, so you know what kind of game modes are going to be introduced in the game. There's also more than just that as well, so...
It's indeed a big dump.
Yeah, it's a big data dump, as they call it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting because like some of the weapons, like you'll be able to have like a shovel, a gas mask, like all the things that you think should be there. I just I'm kind of getting really excited for this game because it seems like they're trying to stick true to the actual time. I was watching some videos online of some sniper rifles, and it's just getting me pumped because I feel like it's when we play it, it's going to take us back to playing the older Battlefield games even more so. So, but yeah, kind of can't wait for that. So, and that comes out in October, I believe. So,
what's a behemoth weapon?
A behemoth weapon, I think, is like it's like game changing weapons. Like I know, like if you start to get towards the end of a match and your team is losing. In order to turn the tide, there's like a thing you can do where you're actually controlling a Zeppelin, like one of the big blimps, and you're actually just firing down all over the map trying to get kills and stuff. So I think they're kind of more environmental, like game-changing type weapons, I think is what
that's awesome.
Yeah. And then cavalry weapons, I mean, I assume that because we all know that you can get on horseback straight using swords and stuff, so it's going to be really interesting, and I think it's a welcome change for first-person online shooters because we've had modern and now future combat for such a long time. I'm kind of glad we're stepping back a little bit, so I'm kind of excited. And, big data dumps for days.
Yep.
So now, moving on to the next topic. So I'm going to be the first to admit, and you guys may laugh at me, I've never played a Pokemon game ever in my life.
Really?
Never.
I had no idea.
No, I have not.
I started one on a DS, but it's just not for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
I feel like I'm like you and I think we're just a little too old that we fell out of that when Pokemon were coming in. Everybody we know is like so into it.
Yeah.
And it's like we just started getting a little too old to be catching on to the show. And
Yeah,
such.
that hit my when I was a kid, that was like all we did. It was the cards, the games, toys, everything.
Did you catch them all?
No, sadly, I've never caught them all.
What was the last big thing you remember about your childhood, Maxwell? Like, what was the big thing you remember, like, before you started to get out of the kid stuff, per se? What was the biggest thing you remember? It could be a TV show. It could be, like, the thing, like, as an example.
Power Rangers.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a really good example, because what I was going to say, the one thing that I remember in the back of my mind, you remember Pogs?
Oh, yeah.
Where you had, like, the things and the slammer and all that? Like, in my mind, that's, like, the last thing I remember, like, about my childhood before moving on to more adult things, as we're having a podcast about video games and such right now. But it's just one of the things that sticks with me.
I'm glad I missed the SpongeBob cutoff. Like, that came after.
Yeah, that came after, but Maxwell loves SpongeBob.
Oh,
I love me some SpongeBob.
Why?
Yo, it's so good.
You can't tell me there's not a cartoon that you watch as an adult and you enjoy.
No,
I mean,
but not SpongeBob.
okay, well, what is it, Adventure Time?
Bob's Burgers.
That's a fantastic. Those are
the
those are two
best.
good options.
Yeah, but Bob's Burgers is not a kid's TV show, is it not?
It's not.
No.
It's
now,
colorful.
Adventure Time,
Definitely.
is Adventure Time for kids? Or is it adult?
I mean, definitely kids can enjoy it,
Okay.
and it's on during kids' time. But
Is there,
adults are going to be like, "Oh."
so
I
there's
get what they're
underlining
doing there.
tones, so to speak.
Oh, this is a little off topic, but we're talking about kids stuff. So I guess during a Finding Dory showing in California, they accidentally aired the restricted Sausage Party trailer in front of it.
Oh, I heard about that. I heard about
Like,
that.
how could you even be mad? Like, that's hilarious. I
Yeah.
mean, oh my gosh.
So what was you didn't really give us an answer. What
sorry.
was the last big thing you remember as a kid that you...
Oh God.
Power Rangers and Pogs have been taken.
Yeah, Power Rangers was big when I was a kid, and so it was Pokemon and Pogs. I think we're kind of going out of style.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
What about Big Bad Beetleborgs? Maxwell knows what
I
I'm
don't know.
saying.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Tamagotchis were big.
Okay. Yeah.
Gigapets.
Gigapets.
I had the R2D2 Gigapet.
When you were a kid, it was probably Furbies.
Oh yeah, we had Furbies too. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
man.
well, that was a big, long about way to segue into the next topic, which is Pokemon.
Oh wow.
Maxwell, why don't you give us some Pokemon news?
All right, you ready for a big old data dump of information?
Yep, right on my chest.
All right, Pokemon Go is now available for Android devices.
Android. Wah, wah, wah.
I had so much information for you, didn't I?
I was doing some reading. Oh, sorry. What?
Yeah, no, it's augmented reality. So you strap that big old turd to your head, right?
No, not with this. That's virtual reality.
Ah, okay.
This one you use your
Gotta get
camera.
my realities right.
Like you point your camera like in front of you, and it shows you everything that's in front of you. But then little Pokemon pop up in your house.
So yeah,
Oh, that's adorable.
yeah. But what's cool is it's
like,
all
claw your face
It's
off.
all going to be location based. So like, say Maxwell, like you take your phone and you go to the ocean because you're by the ocean. That there would be a water Pokemon there for you to tame. Like they will be specific to like areas that you go to.
And there will also be girls fleeing the scene as you chase
Yeah.
Pokemon through your phone at the beach.
But what's also
And then you're just yelling, "I gotta catch it! I gotta catch it!"
Yeah.
while you're chasing towards a random stranger. Yeah,
and and there's also going to be public events. So like you may go to like in the video that they showed for this, like you may go to Times Square and there's like a I don't know what they're called because I never played Pokemon, but there's like an epic, really hard to fight Pokemon.
Oh my god!
And if there's people around you, like you're all battling this one Pokemon at the same time.
kind of like the advanced, better version of when the 3DS came out, and they had those little cards you could set.
Yeah, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but what's funny is so there's this thing that I don't know if it's required for the game, but there's this little thing that looks like a Pokemon ball, like the little red and white Pokemon ball, but it's actually a pedometer. But when you, like, it counts your steps and stuff, but when you go to a location where a Pokemon is, you have to pull it out and you have to act like you're
jeez.
throwing it at it to catch it.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
I can't wait though to tell Kayla like I got to go to New York. I got to catch a Pokemon and fight in this epic battle and just see the look on her face.
You know what's funny, though, is if you're in Jamaica, you know what they call a Jamaican proctologist? A Pokemon.
Oh,
Got it.
you've been saving that, haven't you?
I totally forgot I even had that until this conversation just now. So it's out on Android right now. Justin, did we get a date for when it's going to be on iOS?
It's rolling out now.
Okay,
as
it's
we
probably
speak,
in
it
a
may
slow
be on right
rollout.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just
I didn't
by
know-
the time you listen, it should be up.
I didn't know it was coming out so soon because I watched the video and then I signed up for the beta and then I never heard anything, and now all of a sudden it's coming out. So, all right. So moving on to more adult things, and by adult things I mean video games. So
Yes.
yeah, adult themed video games having Marvel heroes in it. All right. So At E3, we seen, and to my surprise, and I think to a lot of other people's surprise, that new Spider-Man game is coming out for PS4 and it's exclusive. Insomniac Studios is who's behind it. I can't tell you how excited I was for a new Spider-Man game. Maxwell, I know that you love Spider-Man games. Justin, if you don't
God, they're great, yeah.
I was going to say, you can just leave. But there's
until the Batman Arkham games came out, they were the best superhero games.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But this raises kind of a controversial conversation around, has Sony went too far by making the Spider-Man game an exclusive game to PS4? Now, we know that obviously Sony in some form owns the right to Spider-Man. That's why that only Sony makes Spider-Man movies, but Marvel and Sony have been cooperating on, sharing him with the Avengers and so on and so forth. However, do you think it's right that Sony has made the Spider-Man game an exclusive game just for PS4? Because the reason I ask that question is when I think of games like Forza, when I think of games like Halo, when I think of games like Horizon Zero Dawn, like those games are platform exclusive. They're original content.
Yeah.
But when I say Spider-Man, do you not think that's a brand of the people? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but then you have copyrights and licenses that just get in the way of that.
Yeah, but let me get your all's opinion. Do you think Sony has went too far in regards of making this an exclusive title? Because Xbox owners are not going to be able to have this game, at least that's been confirmed.
Yeah.
Now, we know that when Tomb Raider first came out on next gen, it was on both platforms. Yeah. However, Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is the second version of the franchise on next gen, had a 1-year contract deal with Microsoft that it would stay exclusive to the console for the first year. Then it would obviously go over to PS4 and other consoles. However, there has been no conversation like this about this Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, before I turn it over to you guys, is that Sunset Overdrive was a Microsoft exclusive. Okay, now keep in mind, I understand that it's not a superhero game, but it was made by Insomniac Studios, which is the same studio that's making this Spider-Man game. So, Justin, we'll start with you. What's your thoughts? Do you think that Sony's went too far by making this Spider-Man game exclusive?
I mean, technically, they are well within their rights to do so. But I think from a business standpoint, as far as like reaching more people, it's a bad idea because, Spider-Man's a big deal, but I hardly think it's a console seller. So I don't think you're going to be swaying people to the PS4 just because they have Spider-Man. And I think they're not going to lose sales, but they're not going to get sales. You know what I mean? And at the same time, they're doing the same thing with MLB in a way because, baseball belongs to the people. And they're the only makers of the game, and it's PS4 exclusive. So this isn't the first time they've done this.
Yeah, but that's different, though, because, just to kind of argue my point is that...
Argue away.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Sony. I prefer my PlayStation over Microsoft. But that baseball game has always been a Sony title. Like,
but there used to be another game, too, that was on Xbox. And that was made by... It was 2K that made that one.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, you're never going to see Halo on a PlayStation 4. You're never going to see... Forza on a PlayStation 4, the same way you'll never see Gran Turismo on an Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, those are console exclusives, but
those are all properties that were built on that platform. Baseball was built, somewhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So Spider-Man, which, is in movies, in comic books, all that stuff, it's, to me, it seems great for Sony, but bad for the consumer.
Yes.
That's my thoughts. Maxwell, what do you think?
Well... the other Spider-Man games over the years have been on multiple consoles, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sony has owned the rights to Spider-Man movies for a long time.
Yes, and a disclaimer before you go on. This Spider-Man movie, as far as they've announced, is in no way, shape, or form associated with the new Spider-Man movie coming out. This is just completely separate.
But that's just Sony owning rights.
Correct.
However, with the Sony and Marvel thing... Spider-Man's kind of made his way out, but it's still Sony. So I can see why they're like, I guess, just trying to hold on to every shred of Spider-Man they can. But at the same time, it's like, it just seems pointless.
Yeah. I don't know. I got mixed feelings on it. The great thing is, like, I own an Xbox and I own a PlayStation, so I'm not super upset about it. But
I'm not, because I could care less about Xbox.
Right, but I'm thinking about the people that's only ever had Xboxes, but they're huge Spider-Man games. Like, to me, like, is this going to be a big enough of a game that people are going to want to go out and buy a PlayStation because of this game? Probably not.
Nope.
I think the people that are going to go out and buy a PlayStation are going to be for the exclusive games that they're used to, like the new God of War game or, a Gran Turismo type game. Those type of games, I think, is what draws in people to buy a PlayStation. I don't know if this will, but, I don't know. I got mixed feelings about it.
Maybe it's just a unique way to say that they didn't want to bother coding for a different system.
And the only thing that I can think of, and this just kind of popped in my mind, is what if this all along, since Sony gave Marvel the rights to use Spider-Man in the Avengers, maybe this is part of that deal that was struck.
That could be it. That,
okay, well, we'll let you use Spider-Man in the Avengers movie, but the trade-off is you're going to make a game or, you're going to license that character and help us build a story specifically for PlayStation 4.
I have a theory about Sony. I think they do that a lot. This is going to sound crazy, but I think that, how Uncharted was delayed from last holiday, right?
Yes.
And it was about the time they struck that deal with Call of Duty. I think part of the deal was they were not allowed to release their own shooting game at the same time to compete. I think they were told to push it back.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well,
I've thought that for a while. Get my tinfoil hat out.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, you talk.
it kind of makes sense. We'll make a deal with you to be exclusive on your platform, but you can't release your biggest game at the same time.
Well, who's going to make a deal to get SOCOM remastered?
That's why we're probably not getting it. Because actually, some news on that front. They renewed the multiplayer trademark, and they added. Oh my God, I'm a crazy person. They added for their tags on their official YouTube channel. They added SOCOM to it this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's actually might be happening.
That's kind of exciting.
Yep.
All right.
Pretty excited.
So, one of mine and Maxwell's favorite games that we play together, one of the first co-op games I think you and I played together was Resident Evil 5, right? And we played that many, many times over, right? So
yeah, the 360 that I had was the
Evil
edition.
Yeah.
I took the other one in to trade it in for that specifically. I love the game that much.
Do you still have that, actually?
Yeah, it's back home in West by God, Virginia.
West by God, Virginia. Well, since it's one of our favorite things, why don't you give us this short but sweet news about Resident Evil?
So they released a new teaser demo that you can download, and it has hit an all-time record as the most downloaded single-player game for the demo for the PlayStation 4 in the first week. Now, that is in the North America.
In the North America, yes.
In the North Americas. Yeah. That's huge, though. It's been over 2 million downloads globally.
And that's just been since the middle of June, which is when E3 was. One of the things I find really interesting about the new Resident Evil game is that it's really two different types of game. When the PlayStation VR comes out, you'll be able to play through the entire game in VR, or you can choose to play through the entire game in third person like traditional Resident Evil games.
That's a game that would just scare the crap out of me to play with a VR.
Well, one of the things that IGN was talking about was they talked about there was a PlayStation VR demo that they played where you were like in a kitchen and like there was this person that was doing stuff to you. You could look down and you could obviously see that you're roped, and they were just like, I think they were like stabbing you or something. And they had no idea what the game was because they never said what it was. And then a month goes by, and then they download this demo, and they realized that they had been playing just a small portion of the Resident Evil 7 demo, which I thought was pretty interesting. So, but Resident Evil, I think this is just my true belief. I don't care how tough you are. I think horror games, I don't think anybody will ever be able to play one start to finish in VR. I really don't. Because that's the type of game that's too real for me. Like I can't
even play Alien Isolation with friends in the room in the daylight.
Exactly. Could you imagine having VR, being inside a locker, looking through the grade of inside the locker, watching an alien walk by? Like that game is stressful enough in not VR. Now, Justin, speaking of which, this is totally off topic, but you have an Oculus. You let me borrow it. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about that we don't have in our notes, as you said, you downloaded
Vorpix.
Vorpix, which allows you to play non-VR games in VR. So why don't you go ahead and just give us a kind of a short...
Sure. I didn't get a whole lot of time basically, I was just configuring it, testing it out, see if it was worth my money or not, and it was. It was amazing. I got to play Skyrim in VR, which was really cool. The hardest part was getting used to not using the right stick because you don't need to, because you just tilt your head around to look around. So that was kind of challenging, but once I finally did, I was basically spinning my chair around the entire room just trying to get around, but it was a lot of fun. And then I tried Fallout 4. It was also really good. The only problem is
now, is that official yet, or is this just...
this is just through the mod.
Because I know that Fallout is planning on doing VR, but this is just through the mod.
This is just through the mod, yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, the mod messed with my key bindings, I guess, and I couldn't switch back to first person. So that one I was stuck playing in third person, and I haven't given it another try, but I'm definitely going to try Alien Isolation, I think, because I do own it.
They said that's one of the better games to do that with.
Yeah, and GTA. There's actually... Someone made a specific GTA 5 mod to go with Vorpix that automatically adjusts the field of view and everything, and it looks so good. It's in beta testing right now. You can just download it and go. So I'm going to try that next.
That would be amazing.
You want me to bring it back over?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I have it on my computer. So.
So you didn't delete it, right?
No.
I mean, the Oculus stuff, you still have it? Okay,
no,
good. Yeah, I'll bring it over sometime.
But yeah, that sounds amazing. So I think, VR is starting to become more compelling, I think. I still think it's got a long way to go, but there's just been some things that's just really kind of made me more interested over the past couple weeks.
When the Oculus Touch controllers come out, it'll be a game changer.
Yeah, like the HTC Vive, but...
No, man. You know what the Vive does, right?
What?
There's no... yeah, it has room scale, but there's no analog sticks. So basically, if you want to get... even for Fallout 4, they said, there's a warping feature. So you look somewhere and you click it and your character warps to that area, and then you can room scale just in that area.
Oh.
With Oculus Touch, they have analog sticks, and it will be room scale, but you can room scale and then just move the analog stick.
Now that'll be really cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm all about the Oculus Touch.
Yeah, that would be really cool, especially with Skyrim. If you can get a shield in one hand, a sword in the other, that would be legit. Yeah, that would be everything.
Oh, sorry. Another thing though is the Dolphin emulator, which only do it if you own the game, kids. They've made it VR compatible, and they said Metroid Prime is the best VR game out right now.
Maxwell, did you hear that?
Dude, I am sold.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But only if you own the game.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right. Well, Justin, let me ask you something. Are you a fan of BioShock?
It might, aside from Mass Effect, might be the second best game series of last generation.
Well, we got some big news this past week around BioShock.
Kind of. It's the worst kept secret in the gaming industry. I mean, How many times has the rating board slipped and released the rating? Yeah, they're remastering the trilogy for PS4, Xbox One, and kind of PC. They're awfully pretentious when it comes to the PC master race. They're saying that BioShock Infinite is already remastered as is. So they're not going to remaster that one, but 1 and 2 will be. But on the consoles, all three, they're going to come to Xbox One, PS4, and PC. And that'll actually be out on September 13th for $60. Sorry, and we'll include all the DLC. Now, BioShock 2 will have itself stripped of the multiplayer feature, though.
Well, I'm excited for this. The biggest reason is because I played all the way through BioShock Infinite, but I did not play BioShock 1 or 2.
You didn't play 1.
I didn't play either.
I hate that for you because 1 really just, oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, this also makes me... I mean, don't get me wrong. I know BioShock has a special place in everyone's heart, but it makes me want a Mass Effect re-release with all three games even more, because I would much rather play through those games than BioShock because I totally missed all three of those. So
you did play Red Dead Redemption, though, right?
I did play Red Dead Redemption.
You know that effective Friday, July 8th, I think it'll be backwards compatible on Xbox One.
On Xbox One. Well, that's great. Gives me one less reason to play my Xbox.
And also, I think something else came out today, too, Rockstar related, right?
Yep, The Warriors. The Warriors, if anybody has played The Warriors based off the older movie, but it was a Rockstar game.
Yeah.
It was on PS2, but it is now available on PS4.
Awesome.
So I think that, I would have much rather had those flip-flop. I would have much rather got the Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation, but had The Warriors come to Xbox because I'm a bigger fan of Red Dead Redemption. So, all right. Now, Justin, did you have a little bit of news around sports? Because I know Maxwell and I, we're not big sports fans.
Yeah. Okay. So every year, ever since it first came out, I've bought NBA 2K. And this year's 2K is going to be a little less fun to play online because Kevin Durant signed with the Golden State Warriors, and they're basically the Monstars from Space Jam.
Speaking of which, are we ever going to get a trailer for the Space Jams 2 movie or what?
I think they had to film it first.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
All right, well...
LeBron's too busy winning championships, bro.
Yeah, breaking curses. So, all right, well, one thing I wanted to mention, I'm just going to kind of speed through this section. We've got some sales going on right now. So Xbox just started off their summer sale. Started today, which is July 5th, and it runs to the 11th. Some of the games, some of the more noticeable savings is going to be Fallout 4 is 40% off. If you're a Gamers for Gold, it's 50% off. You get an extra 10% off. Diablo 3 is on sale. Just Cause 3, The Evil Within, The Witcher 3, which is a great game. And then you also have some Xbox 360 titles like Crackdown, Red Dead Redemption, which is great that it's on sale because it's now backwards compatible.
One game that's on sale that I think might be the newest one is Mirror's Edge. I think it's 40% off.
Oh, that's a really good deal since it's a brand new game. I haven't played the new one. It got mixed reviews.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one for a
Yeah.
while.
All right, so moving on to more sales. So this month's Xbox Games for Gold are going to be The Crew, which is still available until the 15th of July. We also have the Banner Saga 2, which is good for July 1st to the 31st. You also have Tumblestone, which is an Xbox Live game. Rainbow Six Vegas 2 is good to the 15th. Tron Evolution, which is an Xbox 360 game, it's good till July 30th. And that's a total retail value of $53.97 that you get just from downloading those free games. Now, PlayStation Plus games is Saints Row 4, Get Out of Hell. I haven't played a Saints Row game since probably the third one.
That's probably when they started going downhill, too.
Yeah, so we have that one. We also have... So I just seen the trailer for this game today. It's called, I think it's Fury, F-U-R-I, and it looks really, really interesting. I think it's... Not only is it a free PlayStation Plus game this month, but it's also a brand new release as well. I think it's one of the indie games on PlayStation. You also have Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood, which is a PS3 game.
I'm so glad you decided to do that.
You have Fat Princess. That's what my nickname was. It's in PS3. It's a PS3 game. You also have Urashaka. I don't know if that's how you say it. Tainted Bloodlines, which is PlayStation 4. How would you say that, Maxwell? You're better.
Urashika?
Urashika, Tainted Bloods, Lines, PlayStation Vita game. Prince of Persia, where did Prince of Persia go? It's a PSP game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, total value is $79.95. I'm not as impressed with their value this month because they're still giving away PSP games.
No, you can't count that in the value.
Now, you can still play PSP games, though, on the Vita. But
do you want to? No.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, the last bit of news that we have, unless anybody has anything, is kind of some more odd news, but also depressing news.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
But it also kind of lets us know what to expect right now.
Yeah, so the first Tesla driver has been killed while using the autopilot feature. Tesla has confirmed that the autopilot feature was engaged at the time of the accident. So it was fully engaged, did not have his hands on the steering wheel, it was doing its thing. The driver, so this is and I don't want to laugh because this is terrible, but this is the really odd part of the story, is it was confirmed that the driver was watching Harry Potter during the time of the accident. So he's going down the road, autopilot's fully engaged.
He's just engaged in a world of magic.
Yeah, getting his Quidditch on. And then at the time of the accident. And what I find really strange about this is that, so Tesla has pointed... Up until this point, has logged 130 million miles with the autopilot feature and not a single accident until this one.
Do we know exactly what happened?
Well, evidently the guy was going faster than he should have been for the road that he was on at the time.
Now, does he set the speed, or does the autopilot feature handle all
No,
of that?
you set the speed and then you engage the autopilot. And it's a known fact that autopilot is really only ideal for like interstate driving. Like it's not ideal. Like you can't just punch in and it just will take turns for you or any of that. So after I read this story, one of the things that I was just kind of Google searching stuff. You have something to say, Justin?
There was actually a second accident just on July 1st. The guy lived, though.
Oh.
So that's two accidents back-to-back days.
What movie was he watching? Doesn't say. Okay. But
Debbie Does Dallas. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
That's dark. Anyways,
I
watched a guy on YouTube because I was so interested by this autopilot thing and how much faith people actually put into it. Because I bought my wife a new Subaru car, and it has what they call eyesight, and it's kind of assisted driving. Like, it'll tell you when you veer off in a different lane. It'll tell you how far a car is in front of you, automatically slow down. If you have the cruise on, you can choose your distance between you and that car, all that type of stuff. But I still, hands on the wheel all the time, always constantly alert. But a guy has so the video I was watching, the guy had a 40-minute commute to work. And it wasn't even highway. It was more just like rural roads and things like that. But the autopilot, if it notices that obviously there's a middle line and there's lines on the outside of the road, it can still do its autopilot feature. So on his 40, he still had to make manual turns, obviously, at certain intersections. But in a 40-minute commute, his manual drive time, so manual is obviously with not autopilot engaged, was 6 minutes. And then the total time of autopilot was 34 minutes. So I thought that was really interesting that
you said 6 minutes and then 34 minutes.
Well, 6 minutes was manual, him actually driving and making turns and things like that. And 34 minutes of his 40-minute commute was completely autopilot.
I got you.
And this was on back rural roads and things like that. He did say, obviously, if you're the first car that gets to a light, the system isn't set up so that you stop at a stoplight. However, if you're like, somebody else is in front of you and they're stopping for the light, it will completely stop and go in traffic. But I just think, number one, that these things aren't where it needs to be to fully just take over. You know what I mean? Like, I think people are starting to put too much faith in these things. And
and if he's setting the speed limit above,
right?
I mean, that's just asking for troubles.
And I think it was I want to say it was like a semi or some sort of big vehicle that was involved in the
Do we know
accident.
exactly what happened? Like, was he like T-boned or rear-ended, or like what? How did it happen? Like, was it the autopilot's fault, or was it just a freak accident or something?
Well, I think what had happened is he was. I think it was somebody was switching lanes in front of him, and it didn't detect that there was a vehicle like that close by. So I don't know if it was fully the autopilot's fault or if it was just a combination of both. I think probably him watching Harry Potter while going over the speed limit mixed with somebody else not, paying enough attention probably. Yeah. It was probably a combination of things. So it's very sad news, but I just wanted to bring that up because we don't talk a lot about tech on the podcast. So I thought that was kind of an interesting story.
It reminds me of a story I read a few weeks back. Where a person was injured in an Uber accident, but it was actually more beneficial for them to be involved in that accident than it would be for a cab, because the cab drivers don't have the insurance level that they have a super, super low protection payout compared to an Uber driver that has his full coverage or whatever. So he actually can cover more accidental damage.
Huh.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, it's a good thing that he was involved with Uber as opposed to somebody else. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we are to the point in the podcast where we have picks of the week. Does anybody have a pick of the week? If you don't, it's perfectly fine. No?
I've been playing Ark, really. That's all I've been doing. So I guess Ark.
Can you play Ark in VR?
I haven't tried. That'd be pretty awesome, though.
That game has a hard enough time running. I doubt it.
Not anymore. It's
I'm
pretty smooth.
say that most people's pick of the week right now is probably going to be that Pokemon Go.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm definitely going to download it and check it out.
Oh, and one of the things I also forgot to mention is you're able to trade Pokemon, so we can actually all trade amongst each other, which is kind of cool.
I just, that whole augmented reality deal where I'm just pointing it at real life and stuff. I mean, that honestly is...
Well, that
I
I
might
think
get into it.
That and the whole geo caching, where it's certain Pokemon in certain areas and things like that. I find that to be really interesting as well. So, all right, and so my pick of the week is actually an older game. I've actually went back recently and started playing Animal Crossing on the DS again.
Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, it's such a good time waster. So, That's what mine is. And one of the things that I also wanted to ask, because we totally forgot to bring it up at the beginning of the podcast, is we didn't talk about what we were up to. So I don't really want to know what you've been up to. I just want to know, did you guys have a good 4th of July? That's all I want to know.
In a weird roundabout way, yes, because I was supposed to work on the 4th of July, and I did work, but the storm pushed all the fireworks back to the day before, so I got to see them.
Oh, okay. Well,
Thanks, God.
Yeah, thanks God. Our fireworks in Huntington was actually 2 days before the 4th. So when the 4th came around, the weather was so bad, nobody had fireworks. My wife got to see fireworks. However, I did not get to see fireworks. So, Maxwell, when you were down to a bigger city, did you go anywhere and watch the fireworks, or were you working?
Well, I did work, but we closed early. I got double time and a half, so it was absolutely worth working, even if we didn't close early. But then we actually just came back to my apartment, me and a couple friends, and there's like a little lake in between the apartments, and you could see from multiple different angles, different parts of the city or people that were just shooting fireworks off, and it was beautiful. You could see the reflection in the lake. It was awesome.
Oh, that's sweet. I figured you would have drove up to Miami and tried to catch fireworks up there.
I would not want to deal with that traffic.
How far is Miami from you, if you don't mind me asking? 15 minutes?
40,
or is it
40, like 40 minutes to get into like downtown.
Oh, okay.
Are you in Fort Lauderdale?
Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale area, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about going on a cruise, so maybe we'll have to just pick you up and take you with us since you're right by the dock there.
Yeah, I'll be waiting.
I'll be waiting with bags in hands. So, all right. Well, that concludes episode 10 of Nerds with Mics. Come back often and feel free to add our podcast to your favorite RSS feed or your favorite podcast app. You can also add us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all using the name Nerds with Mics.
YouTube as well.
And YouTube as well. Yeah, don't want to forget YouTube because we literally have no content on there. Yeah. So all links can be found in the show notes. And now that's it for this show.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, just be sure to check out that sweet Gamefly offer.
Oh, yeah, Gamefly. Nerds with Mics.
Gameflyoffer.com/Nerds with Mics.
Maxwell, you got anything to
add? Just that sweet deal with Gamefly.
Gamefly. I actually have Gamefly. I like it a lot.
Really?
Yeah, it's basically the Netflix of games, but better.
Yeah, except they even stream too, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They stream? That's amazing.
And not only that, but if you decide to buy a game, it usually is much cheaper than buying it from like GameStop or something.
Oh, they have really good sales.
And like if you decide, like if you have a disc that you're basically renting, so to speak, from them, and you decide you want to buy it, they literally just mail you like the manual and the box and everything for that game, which is really cool.
They're such a great company. Gameflyoffer.com/Nerds with Mics.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks. Bye.